How about the speech I gave? Brought the house down, gave a poem.
I'm still crying over it. I mean, that was a show hotel, show talk.
That was
I
a
mean,
show. That was the show hotel, show talk, and the speech, mate. I mean, this is no Chat GPT speech, by the way. This is all me. Brought the house down.
Well, I mean, hey, you're a good-looking guy that had a heck of a big league career, and you married Miss America. But it must have been that accent that was your capper, because
Must
I
have
mean,
been.
you're the real deal, Ro.
Welcome to the Top Step, presented by Warrior Injury Law. Injured? Call attorney Rob Edens at 253 Warrior. Battle tested. How we going, mates? It's Ryan Rowland-Smith. Welcome to the Top Step. We have got a very special episode for you today. Ichiro Suzuki's number 51 officially retired as a Seattle Mariner. And who better to join the Top Step than his favorite teammate of all time, and that's Mike Sweeney, one of my favorite teammates, one of the most important teammates I've had, joins me right after the break. He tells me some stuff that Ichiro said to him at Cooperstown. You don't want to miss it. We've got a lot to get to. Eyes on the Yams, Cal Roelly home run tracker. Before we get into all that, make sure you go subscribe at YouTube at the Top Step TV. Watch all your favorite Mariners, former Mariners, current Mariners, Mariner personnel. Join me here on the Top Step, How to Speak Australian, and all my breakdowns and everything else. Or if you're on the move, you can listen to the Top Step wherever you get your podcast. Now, and make sure you follow us on X and Instagram too, at the Top Step TV. Stay up to date. All right, let's get into it. It is time for Eyes on the M's, brought to you by King LASIK. Hey mates, if you're ready for freedom from hassling with glasses and contacts, do what I did. Go to King LASIK. It was the best decision I ever made for my eyes. Procedure was easy and it was over in 15 minutes. Start with a free Zoom consult today at kinglasik.com. Okay, it is a special weekend. Ichiro's number 51 is retired. And what a sacred space in baseball. It goes beyond stats, banners, even Hall of Fame plaques, to be honest with you. And that's when a franchise decides to retire a number. Across Major League Baseball history, just over 200 numbers have been retired all time. It might sound like a lot, right? But when you consider there's been more than 20,000 players that have stepped onto a major league field, it's a pretty microscopic percentage, that's for sure. We're talking about the best of the best of the best. Some franchises, they only have 2 or 3 numbers retired, right? Like the Toronto Blue Jays, they have 2, for example. The Miami Marlins, they've got 1. Now, by the way, remember, Jackie Robinson, number 42, is across Major League Baseball. There's only that one number. But meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, you know, when you're talking about some of these teams, there's 2 or 1. You've also got the New York Yankees. It's baseball royalty, right? As many people say, that's 21 retired numbers. You've got legends like Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Jeter. The list goes on. So when an organization decides to retire a number, it says everything about what that player meant, not just in the box score, but in the identity of the franchise. To have your number retired, there are a few unspoken criteria. First of all, you've got to spend meaningful time with that organization, right? We saw that with Edgar Martinez. He spent his whole career as a Seattle Mariner. That is special in itself. This isn't a 2-year stint with an MVP award. It's years of showing up, dominating, and building something lasting. Second, you have to be elite, right? There's a lot of good players out there not even close to getting their number retired. We're talking perennial all-star awards year after year. Records, the kind of player you build a team around. And lastly, and maybe the most importantly, you have to leave a legacy. Your number needs to spark emotion. It needs to mean something to fans from the moment they walk into the ballpark and see it hanging up over the pen over there at T-Mobile Park. Straight away you see that number, and straight away you know exactly who that number belongs to. And in Seattle, no number has meant more to this franchise really over the last 25 years than number 51. And in August of 2025, that number will never be worn. After August 25, that number will never be worn again. I don't think anyone's wearing it since then, right? Because Ichiro Suzuki's number is officially being retired. Let's talk about why. When Ichiro came from Japan in 2001, there were doubts, maybe a good contact hitter, left-handed outfielder with a slap style. Will it translate to a power-heavy game in the US, especially in 2001? No chance, right? He didn't just answer that question. He redefined it. In his rookie year, he won AL Rookie of the Year. American League MVP. He led the league in hits, stolen bases, batting average, and finished with 242 hits. That would be impressive until you realize this wasn't even the best season. 2004, Ichiro shattered George Sisler's 84-year-old Major League record for most hits in a season with 262, a record that still stands today. I don't think it'll ever get broken, people. But the greatness wasn't just about 1 year. He holds the Mariners' all-time record for hits, most singles in club history, most stolen bases by a Mariner, the most triples. He won 10 straight Gold Gloves, made 10 consecutive All-Stars, collected over 3,000 MLB hits and 4,367 professional hits when you include his time in Japan, the most of any player. He played the game differently with precision, speed, and grace. His batting stance became iconic. His laser throws from right field, unforgettable, and the respect, universal. Fans from both leagues, teammates, opponents alike absolutely revered him. And trust me, I can speak from experience of that. He brought a generation of Mariner fans into the game, and he put Seattle on the global baseball map. So when that number 51 gets lifted to the top of the bullpen out there at T-Mobile Park, it's not just about honoring the numbers, although they are historic. It's about the connection. It's about the little kid in the Ichiro jersey mimicking his pre-pitch bat 12. By the way, during my camps, I still see it. It's about that quiet assassin in right field who threw runners out with absolute precision. It's about the face of the franchise who never wanted the spotlight, somehow became the spotlight. Ichiro wasn't just one of the best Mariners of all time. He was one of the best baseball players of all time. And August 9th, number 51, will join Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, number 11, and Jackie Robinson's number 42 in Mariners immortality. So a very, very special weekend. Congratulations to Ichiro once again. That was Eyes on the M's, brought to you by King LASIK. And to talk more about the kind of teammate, person connection he had with Ichiro Suzuki, the man himself, Mike Sweeney joined me right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ann, who broke her leg in a trip and fall accident.
I had broken my femur and I was in horrific pain. We chose Warrior because they had a good reputation. I wasn't just a name, I was a person, and that makes a big difference. I'm just grateful that we had the settlement for my care. I'm very pleased.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
Welcome back to the Top Step. Mike Sweeney is coming up in just a moment, but it's time for the Cal Roelly Home Run Tracker, brought to you by Bob Oates Plumbing and Sewer. Big dumper approved. Bob Oates is here for you. All right, I want to go back. We need to revisit this. That's that kind of episode. I remember when Cal was knocking off all these milestones, right? So it started with 96 home runs career. That's the most by any catcher in Mariners history. By see you later, Dan Wilson. See you later, Mike Zunino. He did that kind of quickly, right? Then all of a sudden, he just went on a tear. By the way, 3 straight years, Cal has shattered the single-season home run record for a Mariners catcher. Cal already dropped 38 dingers. That's an American League record for the homers before the break. Oh, and by the way, who did he beat after that? Ken Griffey Jr. Are you kidding me? So he hit number 38 this year. That was another milestone. Also, first ever catcher to win the home run derby. You kind of like expected it, right? You got to the home run derby, and there he was, hitting tanks off Dad. And so first ever catcher to win the home run derby. It just keeps going. By the way, This is a big one. 40 home runs before the month of August. Not even Mike Piazza, Johnny Bench had done that. Will he get 60 plus? You let me know. Okay, that was the Cal Roelly home run tracker brought to you by Bob Oates Plumbing and Sewer. Big Dumper approved. Bob Oates is here for you. It just keeps going. We're going to have some fun with this Cal Roelly tracker. Speaking of Cal Roelly, I've got a special announcement. August 21st, Cal Roelly is going to be at the Scuttlebutt Brewery. I will be there too. We're going to be filming a show, hanging out. I'm going to have Cal on the show as well, but he's going to be serving you beers at the Scuttlebutt Brewery. World-class beer brewed locally. I can't wait. I'm going to have my family in town too, by the way. So look out for that. August 21st, you can come to the Scuttlebutt Brewery up by Everett. Come join us. Come join the man himself, Big Dumper, and myself, Ryan Rowland-Smith. Can't wait. Top Steps filming the show. All right, I'm really excited to talk to one of my favorite teammates of all time. And by the way, one of Ichiro's favorite teammates, apparently, Mike Sweeney. How we doing?
Hey, Ro, amazing. I've always said that, you're one of my favorite teammates as well. And there's a big difference. Trevor Hoffman brought it up because I shared this with Trevor years ago. I said, there's a big difference when you're at a ball or a golf course or a baseball game, and you're going to run into your teammates someday. And you're going to say either to your wife, hey, see that guy over there, honey? I played with him 10 years ago, or I played with him with the Seattle Mariners. And then you're going to continue on having a dinner. Or you're going to see a great teammate that you had. And you're going to go running across that ballroom, running across that field, running across that golf course and tackling that person saying, brother, honey, this is my teammate that I loved. And you were one of those, Ro.
Well, Mike, that means
you're one of the best.
That means a lot, man. I mean, we're getting deep and meaningful straight out of the gates here. I love it.
Start shedding some tears right at the opener.
I know. We haven't gotten 30 seconds into it. Well, listen, man, this weekend coming up, Ichiro's number is being retired in Seattle. You and I were both teammates with the great Ichiro Suzuki. But I do want to kick off with this. And, I talk about the different years I was with Ichiro Suzuki. I came up in 2007. And there was 2007 and 2008 version for me with Ichiro, right? He, to me, as a teammate, you sort of look at him in this godlike fashion, but he was a very tough dude to approach, man. He's intimidating. Then 2009 rolls around. We're just coming off losing 100 games, by the way. And Mike Sweeney signs with the Seattle Mariners. And I'll never forget it because something changed even with Ichiro, man. And I tell people this all the time. It is because of Mike Sweeney and honestly, the environment that you built basically in that clubhouse, man. So I want to dive into that. 2009, you come in, you've got, this team, lost 100 games. You got Ichiro Suzuki as this superstar. Can you go back to that year and what was your, not saying your mission, but when you signed the Seattle Mariners, kind of what was your outlook for that year?
So my outlook was to be a great teammate. I was 35 years old. I was brought in to be a leader, and I was to be a role player. And it was hard because, being a multi-year all-star, you're used to playing every day. You're used to being counted on as a third hitter in the lineup or fourth hitter. And then you look in a locker room and you got 4 Hall of Famers in there. You have, Griffey Jr. is going to be batting fourth. You have Adrian Beltre, future Hall of Famer, going to be batting fifth. And you got Ichiro leading it off. And King Felix is pitching every fifth day, throwing 150 pitches. And I'm like, man, I'm just called to be a role player. I'm here to be a support system. And I'll tell you, Ro, I didn't realize that my role as a leader would impact Ichiro Suzuki the way it did. As I was in Cooperstown, the day of the induction, Ichiro's speech, I talked to George Brett, I talked to Trevor Hoffman, John Smoltz, and they were just raving. Pudge Fisk, they were raving about Ichiro's speech. If your listeners haven't watched it or listened to it, they got to. There was honor, there was humility, there was respect, there was laughter, levity, and he took a jab at that one writer that didn't vote for him. I mean, it was a masterpiece. But I went up to his one of his former interpreters, and I just said, after giving Yumiko a hug and saying, Yumiko, I came out here not to be the center of attention, but simply to be a quiet symbol of strength and support for Ichiro, which I've been since 2009. And I bowed to Yumiko, and I said, you look lovely. You look like a model wearing this beautiful cream suit. And I said, all I wanted to do was to be here to let Ichiro know how much I love him, how much I admire him, how much I respect him.
Right.
And Brad Lefton, one of his former interpreters, said, yeah, you didn't hear this interview that he said earlier today, right before his induction. He was at the Hall of Fame, and someone asked him, hey, if you had one teammate that you could call, that you could trust, a teammate that you could lean on, a teammate that you respected, one that you'd consider your favorite teammate, who would it be? And I'm thinking, yeah, Cammy, Griffey Jr.,
Right.
Rowland-Smith.
Yeah.
And he said without blinking an eye, he said Mike Sweeney.
Wow, man.
And it brought me to tears. Because I've always told my kids the greatest way that you could be described by someone that you played with was that you were a great teammate.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ro, I can't remember what your ERA was, but I knew I loved you. I knew I'd fight anybody for you because you were a great teammate. But to hear that, Ichiro would consider me at that level, it really was humbling.
Welcome back to The Top Step. This segment is brought to you by Olympic Hot Tub. Listen, hey, the latest wellness craze has arrived at Olympic. You've seen the commercials if you're watching this show. They've decided to take the opportunity to make the experience of how cold plunge feels, to give you that opportunity in the showrooms. And by the way, you can contribute to a really worthy cause. They have a Hot Springs New Vigor cold plunge. It is awesome. I tried it out. It's available to try in all their locations. Scan the QR code. And by the way, every minute you spend in that cold plunge, 5-minute max, you can donate money to a really good charity, Charity Water. They've partnered with this wonderful organization since 2021. They install wells and provide clean, healthy water all over the world. Go to olympichottub.com for more details. All right, let's get back to Mike Sweeney. I want to get back to 2009, man. So you come into the Mariners. You talked about being a role player. What do you think your relationship with Ichiro, how did it start? Like, if you can go back to that spring training, I'm sure you'd met prior to that, but not as a teammate, obviously.
Yeah.
But when did that relationship with you and him, grow into what the level you've just talked about?
So we were in the same hitting group, me, he, Griffey, and Beltre, and then short bus, Russell Branyan. And we hit together. We were in the cage. We worked out together. And I just had such a respect for him. He'd come in wearing, these beautiful $1,000 outfits, and Ichiro always looked GQ. But Ro, you want to know when? You want to know when our relationship went from like just being peers to being like brothers? So it was about 3 weeks into spring training when we were together in 2009. Fans don't even know this story, but Ichiro had to go play for Team Japan for the WBC.
That's right.
And they went all the way down to the finals. I believe they played against South Korea in the finals. And in the last inning, they won, I think it was like 5-4. Maybe it was extra innings. And Ichiro came back and he said that he literally had felt that he had to put his entire country on his back and lead them to victory, because he had threats from people in his country. Don't embarrass Japan. Like, this is your team, Ichiro. If you lose, this is going to be a slap in the face to your country, to your family. And Ichiro came back. I don't know if you remember this, Ro.
I do remember it.
And he had a bleeding ulcer.
That's right.
And Ichiro, we were 4 days away from going to Minnesota, and you were going to be pitching in that series. And Ichiro, he was deathly ill. And he went in, saw Rick Griffin, Dr. Calfane, and Dr. Calfane said, Ichiro, I know that you are sick, and I know why. You have a bleeding ulcer, and you are not going to be able to play the next couple of weeks. You're going to be out for opening day. And Ichiro looked at Dr. Calfane and said, Dr. Calfane, I've worked my whole life to be ready for opening day, and I will be playing opening day. Dr. Calfane said, you're not going to play opening day. And Ichiro said, what's going to happen if I play opening day? What's going to happen if I go out there against your orders? And Dr. Calfane said, you could die. If your bleeding ulcer ruptures, you could die on the field in the Minneapolis Metrodome. And Ichiro looked him cold square in the eye without batting an eye and said, I'm playing. I'll take my chances. And at that point, Mr. Armstrong, Chuck had to get involved, ownership, and they told him, Ichiro, I know you want to play, but you can't. You're too good of a player to die on a baseball field. And Ichiro was adamant. But I don't know if you remember, we went to Minnesota, and I grabbed Teddy Walsh, our clubhouse manager, and said, Teddy, I need number 51's jersey. He said, well, he's not even here. I said, I need it.
Yeah, I remember.
And you were with me. We hung it up in the dugout. And Yumiko and Ichiro They couldn't even watch the game, but they had heard that we hung that jersey in the dugout. And that was the tide turning back to teammates that turned their back on him versus teammates that embraced him.
Yeah.
And sadly, all it took was one old broken down guy that had a decent resume that came in and said, boys, this is what we're going to do. And we embraced him as a team. We celebrated him. And I'll never forget that last day in 2009, Ro. Ichiro, we ended up winning the game. We just came shy of making the playoffs. Ken Griffey Jr. comes up, base hit against C.J. Nikowski in the 8th inning. They get a pinch runner for him. 45,000 people go crazy at Safeco Field. We're thinking Junior's going to retire. As we're shaking hands,
that's right.
I grabbed him and put 230 pounds of muscle of Ken Griffey Jr. on my shoulder. And Carlos Silva picked up single-handedly Ichiro and put him on his shoulder. I don't know if your guys could pull up the video of seeing Ichiro and Ken Griffey Jr. given a hero send-off on the last day of the season. And that was the culmination of it.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ed, who suffered a neck injury in a highway pileup.
Had a bulge disc in my neck. It was pinching my spinal cord, so reached out to Rob. It was amazing. Their whole team were honest and kept me informed, like they were actually interested in helping me, not just a number. I'm very pleased with the outcome. I would definitely choose these guys any time of the week.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Welcome back to The Top Step. This segment is brought to you by Core Contractors, the center of remodeling and restoration. They're doing all kinds of renovations on my house. You can go check it out over at social media. I got a couple things before I let you go because we've been talking. I could talk to you all day here, but
I love it.
Have you? I've put you on the spot a couple of times. I've said this without you being present. Have you ever thought about, I've always said this, if there's one person who would make an unbelievable manager in a major league clubhouse, field, and everything else that goes with it, it'd be Mike Sweeney would be the guy who I would name my manager if I had an organization. Have you ever, has that ever come about? Ever had the opportunity to be a major league manager? Because, dude, you are kidding, man. I mean, I don't know if you want to or not, man. I know you're busy doing your thing and everything else, but have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I've gotten a few phone calls over the years, Ro, and I put it to prayer, and I even asked my wife Shara. We have 6 kids. My youngest one shares your namesake, little King, little Ryan, and our kids are 21 years old all the way down to 5. And I've had some opportunity. People have actually kicked the door or knocked on the door. And my thing right now is I need to shepherd my wife and my family. You know, we've been married 23 years, and we have a young 5-year-old boy that needs daddy at home. So as much as maybe I'm honored, number one, Ro, that you would say that, because I respect 100%. I respect you and love you more than you know. So yeah, I believe God has given me gifts to lead. But right now, those gifts need to be poured into my wife and children. So maybe someday down the road, that would be something I'd pursue. But right now, the good Lord has me at home with my wife and kids.
Oh, I'm going to make it happen. I want to see you as a big league manager, dude. Just sitting out there on the top step, just ripping into some umpire.
Hey, I like the top step, baby. I like that.
Giving that nice little plug. Hey, second question. Best wedding you've ever been to had to be at the Hotel Del Coronado for this, guys. How about the speech I gave? Brought the house down, gave a poem.
I'm still crying over it. I mean, that was a show hotel, show talk.
That was a show. That was the show hotel, show talk, and the speech, mate. I mean, this is no Chat GPT speech, by the way. This is all me. Brought the house down.
Well, I mean, hey, you're a good-looking guy that had a heck of a big league career, and you married Miss America. But it must have been that accent that was your capper, because you're the real deal, Ro.
Hey, Luke, speaking of the accent, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I do this with all my guests. This is something I like that we call How to Speak Australian. It's brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi Pub. I give you a word and you have to tell me what it means. Now, this is a very Aussie word. I need you to tell me what the word dead set means. If I was to say, dead set, what would that mean? I can give you a sentence if you need it, or you may already know it.
I'm going to say dead set means when you get the ball in Australian rules rugby, that you're marching down the field dead set.
First of all, rugby and Australian rules are two different sports, mate. You're kidding. Nice try, though.
All right, next Australian term. I'll go for one.
No, you just got the one. Dead set. Hey, listen, you can play along at home. If you know the answer, go to the @the Top Step TV and let us know the answer. But the answer is, if you're watching right now, by the way, Mike, I just used that for a little social media plug.
I love that.
Right there. But dead set means like 100% certain. Like, dead set. You can use it a couple different ways. Like, Mike, I was dead set the best teammate of yours. Like, meaning I was 100% the best teammate of yours.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it. But no, hey, nice try. But listen, Mike, this has been great, man. It's just good to catch up, obviously. But I know now we all know now about the impact you made on Ichiro Suzuki's career. So I would be the first to say thank you for that, because of obviously everything he's accomplished. And again, thank you for sharing the same clubhouse. I've had the privilege to share the same clubhouse, not just with Ichiro, but people like yourself, man. It changed my life. So, Mike, this has been a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much.
It's been a joy. And then in closing, Ro, I hadn't thought about that moment when we were together, but I remember you were one of our, you weren't established as a 10-year vet. Like we had Cliff Lee and King Felix, but
that's right.
I mean, every fifth day you showed up, you posted. And I remember you were kind of doubting, you were going through it, and we were playing the Padres. And I remember I walked up to you and I said, I grabbed you by your chest. I said, "Don't you remember who you are? Oh, yeah. You're Ryan Rowland-Smith."
Dude, you went nuts on me.
I can remember it like it was yesterday. And man, the sign of a great teammate is one that you look back on days and you remember them like they were yesterday. And buddy, you were one of the favorites.
I appreciate it, man. Speaking of that too, I had some of the media members who I was friendly with. Some have retired, some are still kicking around Seattle too. But they came up and said, "Oh, is this the right time to ask you what Mike said to you when you were pitching?" Because it was pretty animated. Obviously, you weren't mic'd up or anything, but. Yeah, man, I remember it, but no.
I might have to go to confession after. I didn't tell the whole story, but I had to get to your heart. And if I remember right, you freaking came in and you slammed the door. Yeah, I remember looking at you in the dugout going, "There we go. We did that together."
I had to figure something out, man. But no, listen, Mike, this has been amazing. Look forward to seeing you again around the way here in Seattle or wherever it is, around the place. Mike, thank you so much, mate.
All right, brother. Be well. Go Whams.